Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today, people, today we have for Avataro Sentai Donbrothers episode 24. Now, this episode was a very, it was a very nice episode, helping this woman out and things like that. Basically, the episode starts off with Taro basically delivering a package, and he delivers it to this woman, and she mistakes him for her son, and her son's name was Keijiro, and she thinks that he's Keijiro, so he goes back to the rest of the team and he basically consults them about it and asks them like what is he necessarily going to do about it. They do make a mention of Don Murasame in this episode too, like, kind of wondering what's going on with him, but turns out Taro ain't all that worried about that. Right now he's just worried about this woman and trying to figure out why she thinks that he's her son, and turns out he actually kind of looks like her son. So they basically come up with the plan to basically just help this woman out and kind of just cheer her up, because ever since her son left, her son basically moved out for like no reason. Like, he kind of moved out for like out of nowhere, and she's been very sad that he's been gone this long. So we see that Taro, that he can't lie, because if he lies, he literally dies. So they attach like a microphone kind of device to him, and Taro basically walks around and does all these different things with this woman, spending time with her and things like that, while Blue is the one that's talking for him out of the microphone, and then Taro just basically has to be there just to lip sync it and stuff like that. So we get to a point where she's asking him about different memories and all these different things, and they end up getting Keijiro's friends to help them out with some stuff that she was talking about. And she's there with him. He has to like kiss her on the cheek, and she brings him lunch for work and stuff like that. It was nice, sweet stuff. Like, you tell her this mother is like a very, very loving mother. She very much loves her son. So while that's happening, we actually see that she ends up angering Blue because he says a haiku while he's speaking for Taro, and she didn't like the haiku. So we see that Blue ends up getting mad about it, and he ends up leaving. And then we get our glimpse of our Hitotsuki for the week, which is like, he looked pretty cool. This guy's definitely a freaking ninja. He's definitely based off some ninja team, some ninja sentai, and he's screaming out like, "I need a reason to live," and that kind of hit hard for me. But yeah, so his power was like, if he slashes you, you just disappear. And he does this to a bunch of people, and we see that he is trying to do this to a child, and that's when Tsubasa comes in and saves the child, and this thing leaves. So also, no Sarah Brands in this episode, no bestials, no yeah, none of the really other people, no Don Murasame, none of that. Those three factions aren't in this episode at all. So yeah, it's just basically it's just our main 6 team really, and we see that he ends up getting attacked. Tsubasa ends up saving this child, and we go back to Taro and this woman, and then it turns out he's angered her. Well, after she's angered Blue, that's when Pink actually takes over. And Pink, when he's taking over, he turns out he tells her like, "Oh, I actually got married," and stuff like that. He's basically like telling her his like story or whatever, and that's when she kind of criticizes the whole marriage thing, and that's when Pink gets mad and he ends up leaving, and then Kaito's in the background like, "Oh my god." Like, it was like oh, Kaito's like, "Oh man, y'all effing up, y'all really are." But actually in this episode we got to see Kaito play the piano after this woman asks Taro / Keijiro, "Hey, I would like to hear you play the piano again." And that's when Sakura's Haruka, my bad. When Haruka is like, "Hey, can you play the piano since you basically can do anything?" He's like, "Nah, I don't know how to play the piano. I've never done it before." So she we end up getting to see Kaito play the piano, and having Taro watch. And as Taro watches, if he sees something, then he's automatically able to do it. So later on in the episode, we did see that Yellow ends up filling in as like Taro's wife, to prove to her that like that's his wife or whatever. And that's when Taro, like, he tries to say, yes, this is my wife, but he falls down because he was about to lie. And that's when we see our ninja monster end up attacking a bunch of people. And that's when they hit shit up and go to actually go take him on. And by the time they're getting ready to transform and take him on, that's when our fake mom ends up smacking him with end up fighting him technically and smacking him with a purse. And he just standing, and the monster just standing there like, what's happening here? Like, what's going on? So they ended up transforming into him, and they ended up battling the monster. While they're fighting him, we end up seeing Jiru as he shows up, but he's in his alter ego type form. And he transforms and starts fighting the monster with him, but also fighting everybody else. And that's when Blue comes in and actually, that's when everybody comes in and starts fighting the monster. That's when Jiru says, "Hey, stop!" He forces his alter ego self to stop fighting everyone, and he says, "Stop fighting my friends." He transforms back to his dragon. He turns back into Dragoku. Then that's when their bodies end up actually splitting off, and that's when they end up deciding to work together after everyone has defeated the monster. We see that he is the one that does the mecha fight and actually takes him out and actually fights him off. And what was really cool about the mecha fight was the fact that he can Torbolt can actually, while he's in his mech form, he can separate from them, and he actually got a few attacks in, but he has to do the whole transformation sequence all over again because Jiru still has to keep his alter ego self like kind of in check. So he ends up defeating him, and that's basically it. We end up destroying the monster, and that's when Taro actually comes clean to the woman, telling her that, "Oh, I'm not really your son." And she was like, "And?" I'm like, "You may not have been my son, but ever since I met you, I've had so much fun and I've been so happy." So it was actually pretty cool. And when the guy, when he transformed back to his human self, I was thinking like, wait, was that her son? Because they kind of had a moment when after she was attacking him, and he kind of just sat there and stared at her, and I was thinking that maybe her son became Hitotsuki, and maybe he was like really depressed. And he just basically, his whole thing, well, I need a reason to live. So maybe he transformed into this Hitotsuki and just kind of just ran off, and he's been gone for a while and they didn't know. So yeah, so he was probably just out there running around attacking people and doing all kinds of other Hitotsuki stuff, and maybe they finally freed him. We don't know how long he was a Hitotsuki because we didn't see him actually transform into this thing. We just saw him after the fact. So maybe that was her. Maybe that guy. Maybe that was the real Keiichiro. But other than that, next episode we're gonna see the Pink actually lose his job. So that should be wacky as well. But this episode was nice. It was wholesome. It wasn't anything too super plot heavy. Nothing really further in the main plot or anything like that. We just know that Kaito Kaito can play the piano, and now Taro can play the piano, stuff like that. And yeah, so it was all pretty good. It was an okay episode. It was alright. Nice, wholesome. Nothing too serious. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of this episode of Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time. And remember, stay henshined.